Hey everybody, my name is Dahlia Dumont. I am the band leader of the Blue Dahlia. The Blue Dahlia is an international music band that exists both in Paris and New York City. I'm living in Paris now for 3 years, but I'm from New York City. And I will be performing with my accordion player at TBUG this year, so I'm super excited about that. Hopefully I can meet some of you. And for those of you who can't be there, well, this workshop is especially for you. This workshop is going to give you a brief survey of loads of different genres of music and the strumming patterns that you can use on the ukulele. And you'll find that for the most part, they're very similar. And the main differences is going to be in the feel, in the accent, okay? On the different genres, but the strumming is really not going to change too much at all. Don't mind me, I'm going to read off my notes, so sorry if my eyes are a little bit not all on you. Little disclaimer, I'm a self-taught ukulele player, and I actually taught myself ukulele after learning jarana, which is a Mexican folklore guitar-like instrument, kind of like the cuatro. And it's tuned the same way as a ukulele. So this is what really led me into ukulele playing. But the jarana is played much more with the intense fanned fingers, either fanned out like this or stuck together pretty rigid like that. Okay, and unlike the ukulele, which is played much more with the thumb and the pointer, okay? I play almost always with all my fingers, and it creates a pretty cool texture, and you'll see. But anything is okay, whatever floats your boat and whatever makes your music sound the way you want it to sound. So you can follow this workshop and do all the rhythms with the meat of your fingers, the nail of your fingers, or like me, and more of this fanning, constant fanning, tough and open fingered style. The trick really is always going to be in the wrist. And the trick is also going to be in what sound, what color, what texture are you looking for that song. The wrist is going to be the underlying important factor in any ukulele strumming, because you want that wrist to be flexible and constantly in this back and forth, up and down motion, just so that it's second nature. Because almost no matter any ukulele strumming pattern you're going to choose, for whatever genre you're going to choose, this motion of the up and down is really hardly ever going to change. I mean, we're not going to get into super complex rhythms, so it can change, but not in this workshop. Okay, so another little quick note, I'm not really going to focus much at all on any picking patterns. A few here and there when they become very rhythmic, I'll talk about. So let's get into what is a strumming pattern. So a strumming pattern is a rhythm. And what is a rhythm? Well, rhythm is one of the three main parts of what makes music, right? We have the melody, which is just one single note, one note that you can play on the ukulele that goes up and down and all around town. Or you can be singing your melody, right? That's one note you're singing, unless you're a polyphonic singer, which is pretty impressive. And then you have your harmony. That's the second part. So the harmony is when several notes come together and make a chord. So, my C chord, it mixes four notes: the G, the C, the E, and the C that I'm creating on the A string. Okay? And there's my C chord, my C note, my C chord. Okay? All the notes together. And then you have the rhythm. And the rhythm is basically how long or short each note is going to last for. And the best way to get rhythm in your blood, in your bones, is by listening a lot and practicing a lot. Practicing, you can just mute the note, okay? Or you can play one chord that you know, or go back and forth between two chords you know. Whatever it is, you just practice this constant arm motion, this wrist motion. You can do that on the ukulele, okay? But even if you're not with your ukulele, a good way to internalize rhythm is when you're listening to music, you find the beat, you find the pulse, the underlying heartbeat of the music, and you clap along with it. Clap along with it. Don't get all tied up on the down, down, up, down. Don't get so tied up on that because it's very cerebral, and I find as both a player and a teacher that it can put the emphasis in the wrong place. It shouldn't be here, okay? It should be here, okay? Should be everywhere in your body, and you just feel it like a heartbeat, okay? And you find that underlying beat of any music you're listening to and clap along with it so that you're not even thinking about it anymore. And then the next step would be to find the rhythm instrument in that song. So it could be the ukulele, the guitar, the bass, the drums, the piano. You find whatever instrument is making rhythm, and you try to clap that specific rhythm, which is still going to have the underlying pulse of this, but maybe the rhythm is, or maybe it's still has got that underlying pulse. Depending on whatever that instrument is playing, that's your rhythm, because long, 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 short, short, long, long, short. No, that was a mistake. I made it too cerebral. But the point is, you're just trying to internalize it. You're not trying to intellectualize it and identify the names and saying long, short, short, long. I would even say going down the wrong path, right? Because it's not about what your mind can articulate. It's about what your body is feeling, okay? And that's what's going to get your body playing this instrument in a regular, rhythmic, and beautiful way. All right. So let's keep talking about the pulse, that underlying beat. And talking about ukulele strumming. In general, especially when we're talking about more simplistic ukulele rhythms, anything that falls on the pulse, on the beat, is usually going to go down. And if it's in between the beat, or an eighth note, right? Let's say we're doing 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and anything that's going to fall on the and in between, or an eighth note, that's going to, generally speaking, be an up strum. Okay? So let's just practice that on the ukulele. We'll mute it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing all those pulses going down on my ukulele. 2, 3, 4. And you can see I got my fingers stuck together like this. This is my style. I kind of like the mixture of texture that you hear. It's kind of sharp but also spread out. Or you can just do it with the finger. Whatever sound, whatever color you're looking for your song. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Sorry if I'm going a little bit fast. But anyway, now is the time I'm going to tell you about this very, very, very famous strum. It has lots of different names. I think maybe the most famous name is the island strum. This strum is like the universal strum. It can be used generally in every type of music, just depending on how you accent it, okay? And I am just going to intellectually explain that it's down, down, up, down, 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 up. Do you notice anything about this strum? my wrist, my hand is still just going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And that's why can't emphasize enough the importance of practicing this general strum when you're first starting out, to make sure that it's second nature, that your hand is just going to always do this rhythm. And this next step of taking on the island strum, this universal strum that can help you in all sorts of genres of music, is going to mean you're going to keep going down, up, down, up, down, up, but you're not always going to hit the chords, right? You're not always going to hit the strings. So down, you bring your hand back up, but you don't hit the strings. Down, up. You go back down, but you don't hit the strings. Up, down, down. Back up without hitting the strings. Down, up. Go back down without hitting the strings. Up, down, down. Down, 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 up, down, You stop saying it after a while, and you just let your body take over. You let loose. It's good to practice it on the muted sound, I think, because just like saying down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, you're getting your ear used to this rhythm as much as your body with that. And then you can start incorporating chords if you want. All right, so because we're just in a little 45-minute recorded workshop, we're not going to spend too much time on this, but depending on your level, you might need to stop and rewind and just practice that strum over and over and over and over again, because it's going to come back up for the rest of this workshop. But we're going to move on. Yeah. Well, we're going to talk now a little bit about texture. Now, I know I mentioned that, I like to play with my fingers tight together a lot for that sharp, harsh, but yet full of little crickly texture things. And then I also fan out my fingers a lot. And then there's also what most ukulele players do, which is use their thumb and pointer a lot. I mean, ukulele players do this stuff as well, absolutely. But the most common one is, either using the fat of your thumb and pointer, so it's going to make a texture that's more soft, or the nails, which are going to make a sharper sound. Now, I have to do it individually because I actually don't grow my nails out very long, so, but you can hear just by strumming with the nail the sharper sound that's going to create. So these are all different textures. We can practice some different Hawaiian textures right now. Let's play the high C. Okay, so now we're all the way on the 7th fret on the A string, and we're going to start by coming up first, and we're going to lead with our thumb, and about an inch and a half apart will be your pointer, and it's going to follow your thumb, and it's going to create this sort of delayed texture effect. Kind of follows your thumb. You lead with your nail of the thumb and the fat or the nail of your pointer. I don't have a nail, so I only have the fat to use. So this strum, we can then go back down with the full fan, right? The Hawaiian fan, the one that is most famous in the ukulele playing. So we're going to go up like this. I hope you can see. Let me just triple check the, okay, great. So great. Okay, cool. Sorry, because I'm reading my notes, like I said. So you go up, and then we're going to go down with the whole fan. So the fan, you're just going to like, with loose wrists and loose fingers, you're going to just brush every string with all the fingers, okay? So that's when we're coming back down. Sorry, turtle. And I like playing this high C. There's a lot of Hawaiian music that has this strumming pattern on this note. It just sounds really beautiful. So here we've got two different textures. Okay, and then we can follow up with just a down, down, up, down, up with the pointer on the regular C. So that's the strumming pattern that we've already been working on. So we're going to start, like I said, with what we've been doing. 4 times. Switch to the low C, and then go to our regular strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, just with that pointer. And it's going to neutralize that first texture we were listening to, those first 2 textures, much lighter. And go back to the first one. And the second one. Right? And now we're going to add a third, where we're going to go up and down with that Hawaiian fan. Okay? And we're going to go back up to the high C. And we're going to play every 8th note. So every single note, down and up, is on the fan. Here we go. I didn't start right away with the 8th notes. These are the 8th notes. And we're going to go back to the low C with the pointer. First one, second, and then we've got the third one. So these are a bunch of different strumming patterns using different textures. And why is texture important? Because really the patterns don't change so much. You have these down ups, you have the down, down, up, down, up, and you have them in so many different genres of music, but the way to tell the difference is usually in the texture and also in the accent. So we're going to talk about the accent in a few minutes. Let's just do a survey of what we've just been talking about. So a review of what we were talking about. So if you want to change the texture, you're going to have the choice of the fat on the pointer or the thumb, the nails, which are going to be sharper, and then you have that Hawaiian strum where you spread it out, and then you have variations of that where, like when we were coming up, we just had these 2 fingers following each other. Okay, cool. So now that we've been talking a little bit about Hawaii, let's integrate this into a Hawaiian song. There's a really cute little Hawaiian song that can be for adults or children. It's trying to teach the 8 islands of Hawaii. YouTube says it was written by Kai, sorry, MT and River K. So just to give credit where it's owed. So for this, we're going to have a pulse of, okay, we've got that 4/4. So I've got a soft fan on the 1 and a big fan on the 2. And then I come back up and down with the thumb and the pointer to make that light and very rich sound. Let's sing a little bit. Hawaii, kau ola maui lanai, Molokai, oahu kahua ini hau, nama kupuni e walu, the 8 islands of Hawaii nei. Nama kupuni e walu, the 8 islands of Hawaii nei. And what rhythm am I doing? Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. See? It's the same rhythm. But it sounds super Hawaiian because of all those textures, right? So I mentioned accents. Now, when changing genres, even if you're still using this universal strum, the texture and the accents are going to be key. An accent basically means in a 4/4 time signature, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the most typical. Are you going to accent the 1 and the 3, the 2 and the 4, and depending on what you accent, we're going to feel the different style of music in that accent. And there's different ways to accent. You can play something louder if you're wanting to accent the 1 and the 3. You know, you can play up the neck for a quieter sound and in front of the hole for the louder sound, you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You can let a note be longer when you want it to be accented more, right? So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you have different fingers you can use to different textures you can use on the different place you want to accent to make those beats stand out more than the other beats. Okay, and yeah, let's get into some genres of music, and I'll show you what I mean. I'll put it into practice. So we're in 4/4. So some of the music in 4/4 that is played a lot in the ukulele is folk music, right? So with folk music, you're going to accent the first beat and the third beat in a 4/4 rhythm. You can totally use this strumming pattern, down, down, up, down, up. Why don't we, let me show you an example, and I'm going to play a little bit of Bob Dylan for you. All right, so, sorry, I'm going to play this song. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps And how many times must a cannonball fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Okay, so automatically with that down, down, up, down, up, we've got a great folk sound, just the way it is. And another thing we can do for folk, and this is going to involve a little bit of picking, not necessarily, but you can do this with the rhythm only, with strumming. Sorry, I meant to say, but it's kind of cool when you pick. So I'm just gonna, but it's a rhythmic picking. You can pick the top three chords, right? So you've got your C and your E and your A string, and I like to place my thumb on that C. It's kind of always living there because that's your bass note on a ukulele, or at least a tune such as this. And you've got your pointer picking the E string, and you've got, for some extra support, both your middle and your ring finger picking that A string, and you're gonna pick it up all simultaneously. And sometimes for some folk songs, it can be really nice to accent the one and the, I call it the anticipated three. So it's really an eighth note, but it gives it like a really sexy, groovy rhythm to it. It's basically the and of the two and. So what I mean by that is you got 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you can see I kind of slap down on the wood of the ukulele in between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's on every 2 and 4 that I'm slapping down, and it's giving so much texture. There's a cool song that this works really well on for ukulele. Joni Mitchell, Case of You. Just before our love got lost, you said, I am as constant as a northern star. And I said, constantly in the darkness, where's that at? If you want me, I'll be in the bar. On the back of the cartoon coaster, in the blue TV screen light, I drew a map of Canada. Oh, Canada, with your face sketched on it twice. Oh, you're in my blood, you're like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. Oh, I could drink a case of you, darling, and I would still be on my feet. Oh, I'd still be on my feet. So that's a cool folk song where you can integrate this alternative rhythm. And you know, this alternative rhythm, let's segue now into a different genre of music that's also in 4/4, that also has accents on the 1 and the 3 of the 4/4. Soul, some soul and R&B will have a really good sound on the ukulele if you use what I just did. But maybe you want to like switch it up even more and not slap, not hit the ukulele, but on the anticipated 3, on the 2 and, you can slap the strings, okay? Make it really sexy like that. So I'll try to remember the chords to this song. We got Stand By Me by Benny King. And yeah, let's try that. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. Boom, boom, boom. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Boom, 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 boom. Whenever you're in trouble, you just stand by me. Yeah. So there you go. There's a little alternative rhythm that I think technically is in the picking, but we're gonna move on. But yeah, I think it's cool to mix it up. And then, you know, another genre of music that is in the same 4/4 and has the accent on the 1 and the 3 often, not always, is blues. And yeah, let's go back to our famous down, down, up, down, up, and play a typical 12-bar blues. We'll do it in A7, and so the 12-bar blues in A7, you're going to have 4 bars of A7, then you're going to have 2 bars of D7, 2 bars of A7, 1 bar of E7, 1 bar of D7, 1 bar of A7, and 1 bar of E7. I'm going to say that once again, just because I'm not writing anything out in this workshop. If you're writing this down, if you want to follow along, 4 bars of A7, 2 bars of D7, 2 bars of A7, 1 bar of E7, 1 bar of D7, 1 bar of A7, and 1 last bar on E7. Or if you're finishing the song, the last 2 bars are both A7. So that's a typical 12-bar blues in A7 that we're going to use our down, down, up, down, up to here. And really, it's all in swing. It's the same rhythm, it's the same strumming pattern, but you're going to swing it a little bit in that bluesy sort of way. And it's hard to describe because this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the session. You got to get it into your blood. You really got to listen to blues, listen to those rhythm instruments and what they're doing, because it's hard to tell you how to swing. You just got to swing. Okay? Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing. Joke. All right? So the down, down, up, down, up is 1 bar each. So let's try. Let's listen to that. Oh, you hear that swing? Da 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 da. Again, swing. I got the blues. Oh, I got the blues in A7, and you got the blues, baby, too. So there you go with the accent. Again, I had a hard time describing accents earlier because it's really about a feel. It's about a feel. And there, instead of just really straight down, down, up, down, up, you're swinging it. Boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. I'm really getting my whole body into it. And it's just going to reflect well in that ukulele sound that comes out afterwards if my whole body is participating in that swing. All right? Now, there's other blues out there that aren't standard 12-bar blues and actually sound really good, in my opinion, with that boom, 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 ba boom, ba boom, 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 4 on the floor thing. There's this great blues, maybe my favorite blues song of all time. It was written by Jimmy Cox in the 1920s, sung by Bessie Smith first, and then Eric Clapton did a really cool version in like 2012, I think, for Hurricane Sandy, which actually is a totally different way to play blues than what we're doing right now. I mean, he's doing a lot of accenting on the 2 and the 4 and a lot of guitar picking, but we'll keep it simple. If there's time, because we're sort of running out of time, maybe I was going to play it for you, but let's just hear that 4 on the floor blues with a little bit of variations where you play the 8th notes in between and sing some Bessie Smith. Oh, once I lived a life of a millionaire, spending money, I didn't have any care, and I took my friends out for a mighty good time, and I bought bootleg liquor, champagne and wine. Then I began to fall so low. I didn't have a friend and no place to go. If I get my hands on them dollars again, I'm gonna hold until then. Equals grin. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket not 1 penny, and as for your friends you haven't any. But when you get back on your feet again, well, everybody wants to be your long-lost friend. It's mighty strange without any doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. So cool, right? 4 on the floor. And just going back to that original thing, when you hit each beat of the pulse, you're going to go down. Okay, and if you come back up, it's on those in-between 8th notes, and that sounds really cool with blues. And, you know, one more thing with this style of music, with the 4/4 and accents on the 1 and the 3, well, you've got good old rock and roll, which literally, in most cases, sounds just like the blues. It's just got different timing and different accents, because rock and roll came from the blues, right? So let's do a little Elvis Presley, and this is a blues in C. So we've got C7 for 4 bars. We've got 2 bars of F7, 2 bars of C7, 1 bar of G7, 1 bar of F7, and we're going to finish out with 2 bars of C7. Okay? So really, you're just going to speed up. It's going to be the down, down, up, and you're going to speed up those up, down, ups in a swing like the blues, but a little sharper, a little cleaner, a little tighter, and that's what's going to simply make it rock and roll. So you ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit, and you ain't no friend of mine. Woo! Right? So there you got your rock and roll. So I'm running out of time, but I obviously wanted to talk about a different types of music, right? So we've got music that's in 4/4, but it's got the accent on the 2 and the 4. So what kind of music is that? We got swing, a lot of jazz, right? You got swing. You've got reggae and ska. So let's quickly talk about that. So that means that your 2 and your 1, 2, 3, 4, your 2 and your 4 are going to be accented more. With jazz, and swing, you can do that 4 on the floor thing. It works really well, you know. All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good for you, babe? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Right? So there's some 4 on the floor jazz. But if you wanted to emphasize the 2-4, right? You can do it like why don't we do a different song that makes it even more obvious? This is a swing, like a jazz manouche swing. So I got my 1 is very quiet and short, and my 2 and 4 are very spread out and loud. Okay, so we're really hearing that 2 and 4. Some of these days you're going to miss me. Some of these days you're gonna feel so lonely. You're gonna miss my hugging. You're gonna miss my kissing. You're gonna miss me, baby, when I'm away. And then you want me. You're gonna want me only. But you know, baby, you always had your way. And when you leave me, you're going to grieve me. I'm gonna miss my little daddy some of the days. So there you got a little swing where what am I doing? I'm going a little fast because it's the end of the time I got, but I'm picking that bass note, the C, really quiet, just as like a trampoline, and then I'm slapping the 2 and the 4, you know, and you don't have to slap like I do. You can just make a quieter sound with just your fingers, but I really like that fat sound, so I'm slapping. Let's quickly do another one. Reggae. Reggae has also got 4-4 with the accent on the 2 and the 4. Reggae can be straight or swung. Okay? I play a lot of reggae. So, you know, I'll do one of mine. This is a swung reggae with a double skank. I'm doing the same thing. I'm picking that 1 and 3, just really light on that bass note with my thumb. Okay? This is just going back and forth. And you can do something more straight. Let's do something you all know. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. And if we want to swing that reggae, singing, don't worry about a thing, every little thing gonna be alright. So here, 1, 2, no. Okay, we got that swinging thing going. I'm going really fast, sorry. There's so many more. Okay, I wanted to quickly talk to you about the waltz, which is in 3-4. So now we're going to emphasize the 1. And for that, you can pick it. You can pick whatever you want. It kind of adds some color. But I'm still going to use my 3 bottom fingers for the top 2 strings there, with these 2 hitting the A and the the pointer hitting the E, and my thumb is going to be used to really let that number 1 of the 3/4 ring out. And you can smack that too to make a much more lively waltz. So now my arm is doing what? It's really just pick, down, 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 down. Pick, down, down, pick, down, down, pick, down, down, down. So really, with the waltz, you are going to be switching up that down, down, up, down, up. There's so many other rhythms I wanted to do. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. I'm just going to finish off on a little Hallelujah, more based off of the Jeff Buckley version than the Leonard Cohen version, because that's in a 6/8. And 6/8 is interesting. It's like the 3/4, except it's got a lot more shuffle to it. And the emphasis on a 6/8 is going to be a little bit on the 1 and a lot on the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? I'm going to do an F. Heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Well, it goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor fall, and the major lift. The baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. So anyway, I gotta stop. But you know, I'm picking with my thumb, and then like a waltz, I'm doing the 1, 2, 3, but then I slap to get that fat 4, and then I follow up with a 5, 6, 1 thumb pick, 1 multi-finger pick on the last 2 strings, and that makes. Well, please feel free to reach out to me and get some more details on these different strums. You'll see when we perform, I do tango, I do dance hall, I do all those other things we talked about, swing and waltz and 6/8 on this ukulele, and it's pretty fun, and I hope you're having fun as well, and I hope to meet you one day and to share some music. Thank you so much. I'm going to be signing off. Goodbye.